If I see style equals to uh, again, where is this? Yeah, control C, control V. Let's make it 200, 200. Now you can clearly see on the screen that app component is a parent component and child works is a child component. Same like if you see Amazon example, my Amazon example, where cart is in the parent component and somewhere some item is there in the child component. If inside the child component one event is there, if that event get triggered, okay, now that event whatever get triggered, sir, that event will have an effect onto the parent component. That is what the parent to child communicate, sorry, child to parent communication will happen. How it will be, let's see. Now here, let's put some simple events, sir. Okay, let's put some simple event. I will put some event button. Okay, now here button is an event now. Now let's write it like click me. I'm writing it click me. Now here, whenever I click it, whenever I click it, click, right? See, click is a event, right or not? Click is a event. That means whenever this button clicked, that thing will happen. Whenever the button clicked, it will happen. Now I will write it one method, uh fun. I'm writing fun. But sir, is fun is defined? Is fun is there? See, I wrote fun, but it is an error. What is the error? Fun is not exist in the child component. So where should write it? Where should you write this fun? You should write this fun in the component file. So let's go to component file. See, in the component file, I will write something called fun, sir. That's it. Now no errors. Okay. If I call this, if I write it here, something, for example, I will just write it console.log button clicked, right or not? So if I do this, what will happen? I- if if the guy clicks this particular button, automatically it will call this function, and automatically when this function get called, button clicked will print on the console. This is how the normal template to component will come, right or not? From template, first I came to the component. Now interesting point is this whatever in from this particular fund, it should go to the parent. Okay, from this particular fund, it should go to the parent. Now here is interesting point, sir. Here you will write something called at the rate output. At the rate output, so you have to take this also. See, automatically it will only import it. Sometimes if it's not, you have to write it at the rate output. You have to create one event. Let's take it like my event. I am only writing it my event. Whatever the name you like it, you can write it my event. But important thing is equals to new event emitter. Event emitter. My event, which is equals to new event emitter. See, event emitter also you have to take it. That's it. See what you did, sir. I am creating a custom event, sir. I am creating some kind of event on my own. What is the event, sir? For example, see here, click is there now. Did I created click? No, already click is existed. Like this click on click is existed, on change is existed, on input is existed, on download is existed, or mouse event on mouse over is existed. These kind of things are existed by default. But did anywhere my event existed? No. I am creating something event called my event. Now I will pass this my event. Okay. Now how what I will do, inside this fun, I will pass it like if someone call this my event, if someone call this my event, this dot, okay, my event, this my event dot emit, this dot my event. Emit means it will emit, it will give. Okay, and I'm giving some value, some value. Okay, now go to your parent component. Go to your parent component. Now in the parent component here, uh, now here in the parent component, what you can do is, whenever you call the child component, sir, whenever you call the child component here, you will give one event. You know what is the event you will give? My event. See, my event. That means you are triggering an event in the child component of my event. But sir, is the my event type of event is existed anywhere? I created it. I created one event here. So now someone, if someone clicks on this particular event, okay, if someone calls this particular event, sir, then what will happen? What will happen? Let me write it one function here, fun2, okay, dollar event. Dollar event is like passing this particular value, sir. Now here, what I will write here, I will write fun2. Inside this particular fun2, I will write it like, okay, fun2, I will write it here something m, and I will write it here something msg, which is equals to initially msg. I am taking one value msg. Now see, this dot, this dot msg equals to m. M has implicit type of any. Okay, let it give any only, no worries. Now go here. I'm printing it msg. Now let's go here, sir. Now if someone clicks on this, see, whenever I click on this button, where is this sum value is coming? Where is this sum value is coming, sir? Whenever you click on the button, where is this sum value is coming? Sum value is coming into the parent, not to the child. Now how it is coming, sir? One more time. One more time I will tell you whole thing. See one by one. Okay. Now, sir, how it is happening it? First thing, it is not directly giving it. Whenever some action, some interaction, that is what I told you. When in child component, in some interaction happens, then only it will call to the, it will send it to the parent component. How it is, sir? Okay. Now go to the code. In the code, in parent component, I said, please, whenever you call the child component, you said it like my event. My event means there is one event named my event. If you trigger the my event, in case if my event comes, in case my event comes, what you have to do? You have to call this fun2, and you have to pass whatever the event, that what dollar event means, whatever the my event send, whole thing will be received by dollar event. Then if you go here fun2 in its component, whatever it receives, what it receives, whatever the value they have, okay, in the my event, and that value I am storing it into msg, and that msg I am printing it here. Okay, this one is clear. Now what is this my event? If you go to here child component, inside this child component, sir, I created a button, and when someone clicks on the button, it will call the fun. That is also simple, sir. But here interesting point, here I created my own custom event. Okay, there is no my event type of event. Okay, there is no event. Click is there. Click is not created by me, someone already created it already. Click event is there, but my event is I'm only creating, I am creating it. How do you create, sir? You will write it like new event emitter, like that you will write it. Automatically it will create, and you will put at the rate output. And at the same time, if someone calls fun, that means if someone clicks on a button, it will call this fun, and immediately I will write it like this dot my event dot emit. some value, and whatever the value here I emit, that value will be sent there, sir. Only that value will be sent there. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear till now? You can send it here, so many things also, sir. Here you can send it custom value also. Now see, instead of this, what if I want to send some another value? Now see, I will write it here. Const my message equals to hello everyone. Now here I will write it here. Instead of this, I will write it here. Message. So automatically what will happen? It will receive the hello everyone message. Okay. Now whenever someone clicks on it, hello everyone will be received by the parent component, sir. Okay. Now we'll do the more and more examples. Don't worry. Okay. But just have a focus on it. You will create one event in the child. Child will create one event, and that event will be triggered by the parent. Okay. And will be received by the parent, sir. Okay. Now let's make it more and more better. Now now see, now next one. Here let's do one more example, sir. Let's do one more example. Now here let's put some simple input box. Now inside this input box, I will write something. Okay, I will write something, and that value will store it in the child component inp. That value will store it in child component inp. So I'm giving inp initially something empty. And how do the both will be connected, sir? By connected by something called directly. If you want to connect, you will use something called ng model, sir. ng model ng model equals to inp. Sir, why I'm getting error, sir? Can anyone tell me why I'm getting error? Can anyone tell me why I'm getting error, sir? Good. I'm getting error because forms module is not there. Okay. Now let's try it, sir. Now let's write it forms module, sir, quickly. INP is not. Some people think it INP is not defined, or INP is not already existed. Not right. See, INP is defined here. See, INP equals to single quotation marks, and it's not uh, already defined. It's not defined anywhere because that is a different code. Now here I will go here, and in the modules, all I have to do is forms module. I have to write it. Browse app routing module, comma, here forms module. Automatically everything will be right, sir. Now see, ng model will work with only forms modules, sir. Okay. Now usually, sir, usually whenever you create one event will send it only one value. Okay. one event will send it only one value, sir. Now here this is interesting point is also. Okay, I will just make it this module close. If I go here, if you want to send it 2 3 values, you have to put that 2 3 values in an array, and that array you have to send it. Okay. Now anyway, I'm gonna send it as inp. Now go here, this inp equals to uh, uh, ng model equals to inp, sir. Now automatically it will be connected to the inp. That is good. And now I will write it here. Instead of sending message, this dot inp, simple. Now whatever the value which is there, which will be sent here. Now let's go to your application. Let's see here, and one input box is there, and if I write it a, now here this a value will be stored in the inp, right? Now a b c d e f g something is storing in the inp. But sir, is it going into the parent? No. Why? Because directly it won't go. To make it directly go, actually you have one event. Whenever you click on this event only, in the component file, that particular fun will be called. In that event will emit something, and the emitted will be received. So everything will happen after you click. If you did not click, it will not happen. See? No sir, I want it automatically should happen. No worries. Instead of making it button click, you give event for the input only. I will give event for input only. I will write it one event called change. Change means on changing it will happen. Now I am just calling it on change fun. So I don't need any button now. The moment you change it in the input, it will change it in the parent also. Now go here. Now see, if you change it something, automatically it will change it here. That is on change. I think there is one thing called on input also. See, any doubts ma in this? You can send something like object also, sir. Sir, I want to send multiple values. I don't want to send only one or two. So you can create one array, sir. You can create an array, or you can create one object. Now if I create one object like const data equals to some data value, I will put some name Raj. Okay, I will put some basic values, sir. I will put name Raj, age 20. Like this, if I put some basic data, okay, you don't need to put const and all in the class. If I write it something like this, if I send it this dot data, then that automatically my parent can receive these things. Okay. So but one event will emit one value. One event will emit one value, not one component, sir. This is very interesting point. Not one, not the child component. Child component can create 100 events, and each event will send it one value, sir. Okay, whether it's an array, whether it's an object, or whether it's some kind of value, it doesn't matter. Is it clear, ma? Is it clear, sir? Anyone have any doubts? Let me know if you are having any doubts. Okay, I hope no, so I'm just moving on. Okay. Now second method. Sir, first method is directly we will use something called at the rate output, sir. But is it the only one way? No, actually we have three ways direct to get these things. Now second one is actually very easy. You will feel it. This one so good. What we can do. Yeah. Now, just a minute. Huh. Now, one more thing, one more time. Some people are getting confused, Isma. What is this emit means? This event will emit. That means event emit means whenever event get triggered. That means if someone triggered this event, my event, what it should get? What it should get? This it should emit the this dot inp. What is this dot inp? Whatever the inp value which is given in the child component. Okay. Now who triggers this event? Parent will trigger this event. Parent will write this event, automatically it will be triggered. Just do it one more time, ma. Just if you practice it, just type it one more time, automatically you will get it. It's not a big deal. Okay. Next one. Next one. There is another way. Second way. Second way of writing it. You can use something called reference value, sir. Now, this is interesting point, and at the same time, we will discuss in detail about the reference points in later also. But still, let's go with something called reference points, sir. Also called template reference variable. We will also call it as template reference variable. What is the template reference variable? I will tell you. How it will work, for example, if you remember your html and css, in html you will have so many elements, and every element will be in the dom. And how do you get the dom elements? How do you get select the elements of the dom? Okay, how do you select the elements in the from the dom in javascript? If you want dom elements from the html to the javascript, how do you select, sir? Did you get my point, ma? How do you select the DOM elements from the component from particular HTML? Basically, very good. Someone write it. Get element by ID, get element by ID, or something. Right? That is true. So this element by ID is like, that means that is already whatever the functions, whatever the DOM elements HTML, they are already having some IDs. IDs are like names. You give some names to them, and using that name you will select them, right or not? Same thing, sir. You can give specific names to every element. Okay, anything in your code, in your angular, you can give some name, direct name. That name is called reference variable. That is called template reference variable. Now you know what is the template. See, for example, app child you can give. So I will write it here also. This, see, I will write it here. H1, for H1 I am giving one name, hash chitty. Now see, I give one name, sir. What is the name of this H1 now? Chitty. And everyone, it's like it has to be like a hash. You know what is it mean by hash? It's like the ID notation in your normal HTML. So why we give it like that means you should not write any other names, any other elements with this name. Okay. Now see, now Angular how it will understand. Angular will understand this H1 is having an ID like a chitty. Okay. Now if you go here, if you go to this particular one code, inside this content, inside this content, if you see this H1, this H1, you can't see it anything like H1 ID or something something. Okay, it won't apply it any styles or something. It's not like id. See, it's not like writing id. It will write it in it will be understand by angular, but it won't be understand by your css. Understand it. it won't be understand by your CSS. For example, sir, it is like ID only now. If I go to CSS and if I write hash it is something CSS, will it apply to H1? No, it won't apply. Okay, but still you can do complete manipulations. What is that manipulations? Now I will write it here. Chitty. If I go here and if I can print the whole HTML element, see, I'm printing that HTML heading element. Now I will write it chitty dot text content. Now whatever the text content inside the chitty, I'm printing it in the HTML only. See, you are whatever you did it in your JavaScript. In JavaScript, what you will do, get element by ID, you will take it and you will take it the text content and you will manipulate. Now that thing you can directly do it in HTML only. So you will take one element, you will give that element one name and you can use it next time also. Now see, I am app component came. Did you guys understand ma what I did? What does it mean by template reference variable, which is a simple concept? Okay, so anything in your code you can give one name. Okay, that is called reference. I gave it chitty, but in real time you won't give it. It's like some kind of reference. That is why it's called template reference variable. Now what I'm gonna do is, for this child component also I'm going with one name. Okay, I will give one name my child. Okay, I'm giving one name my child. So parent is calling this particular app child as my child. Now now what I will do it is, I will put a button, and whenever someone clicks on the button, automatically from my child, whatever the values which are there in my child, those values I will get it. Okay. Now inside the child, see, inside the child component, I am having one data. Can you see it? Inside the child component, I'm having this data. Can I send this data anywhere? Did I send this data anywhere? No, I did not send it. In my child component, data is there, sir. Now I'm going into app component. And I put this app child one name. That's it. I just put one name. Now what I will write it, what I can write it is, I can write it so simply. I can write it here. My child dot data dot name, and the name is Raj. And you can make it triggered actions also. See, now I will make it one triggered action. It's like I will put one button. Now click parent. Now inside the parent I'm putting one button. If someone clicks on this, what will happen? I hope you are understanding it, ma. Slowly focus on it. If I call this, I will call one method, uh mut. So I'm just going into the component, and here I'm just writing one method which is mut. Now go here, sir. What I did, just focus here one more time. Voice specs can now. See here what I did. I just, whenever someone clicks on this MUT, automatically it will call the this method. And inside this method, what I will write it, inside this method I will write it like uh, uh here I will just write it like this: my child dot data dot name. Now I will go to the component. Here I will get it name, and here I will just write it console dot log name. That's it. So automatically, if you go here, if the parent click this, and the value which is coming from the child is taking it. Okay, okay. One more time I will tell you. It is so simple. Actually, I hope you all remember the at the rate output. Okay. Now this one is so simple. This one is so simple. What is console.log? Someone is asking what is console.log. Console.log is like how do you print it in the logger console ma. In JavaScript we will print it in console na. Same thing here also. See, go here, understand it how it will work. So simple. This child, see any element which is in, if you take it, forget about this button, forget about this all. Sir, if you have in HTML any element, let me put any element, like what element you want, uh, what element I can take it. Let's take one input element. Okay. For this input element, if I put something called hash my input, I put one name, right or not? Now I don't need any component. I don't want to put property binding. I don't want to put event binding. I don't want to go to two-way data binding, ng model, nothing. Without anything also you can get the values. How you will get? You will directly write my input. See, my input dot. So then whenever you set it, automatically in the DOM whole element will be selected. My it is like your document dot get element by ID. Same thing. I will select this element, my input dot, and here I will select this element. Whenever I select it, I will write it like my input dot value. Then whatever the value in the input, it will come here. Go here. See? Now if I write it here, if I just write it here, okay. Now whatever the value, wait, my input. Now it will print it the HTML input element, if you see. Okay. Now my input dot, I think target will be there. Text content. How do you get the input element value? Its property is directly value only, na? So you can directly do like this, or you can even call this. You can even call one function. Now whenever you do this, you can call one function, you pass the values, you can get these things. Okay. Sir, instead of doing this all in the HTML, I wanted to do from the child component. So whenever I call the child component app child, see app child, I'm giving one name. What is the name I gave? My child. Now go here. This is app component. Na? Inside this app component, I don't need at the rate output. I don't need any events. Now inside this, what is there? Data is there. Inside this, one array is there. Let me put one array of values, or let me put something value. Uh, some kind of message. And what is this message? I am good. Okay. You can write it something like that, or you can take it some kind of some count method. I'm using one method, counter. So you know what this counter will do? Counter will do this dot counter plus plus. So this is good. See, have I created one value here. I created one value count, and I created one function also. What is the function named? Counter. Now go to your logic, sir. Your logic is so simple. Now here inside my code, now I will directly write it. My child, my child. So my child means automatically child component, sir. Inside this child component, count is there. Print it. Now what it will print? Now what it will print inside the my child? What is the value now? What is the count value inside my child? Count value is 0. It will print 0, sir. Very good. Okay. So till now, no worries. Now here, I will also call directly. I will put one button. If someone clicks on this button, click parent. If someone clicks on this button, and it will call the my child inside the my child counter method. Call counter method. I'm saying it. Then automatically it will update the value. Now go here. Go to my logic. Now if I click on this 1 2 3, it is updating. But interesting point is I did not write this method in the parent. I did not write this count also in the parent. Both are in child only. Both are in the child only. Okay, but they are updating here. Are you getting my point, ma? Because it is easy directly. How it will work, sir? It will work it like a dom element in your in your normal logic, in your javascript. How it will work it, document get element by id and all same like this. We will work it this one, and this is called template reference variable. Template reference variable. See, my child template reference variable. Okay, so here you should also understand, if someone asks you a question, if someone asks you a question, how do you access, how do you access dom elements, dom elements in angular? You have to tell, how do you access the dom elements in the angular, sir? You will use something called hash, which is template reference variables. You have to say template reference variables. So in majority cases, sir, in Angular HTML files, we will call it as template. Why? Because it's not a normal HTML file. In this HTML file only you can write the JavaScript also. See, in this HTML file only you can call the events. In this HTML file only you can directly take the values and print it like the string interpolation, and you can do some kind of like this directly the DOM manipulation, like get element by id, dot text content, or dot values. Those kind of things also you can do it here. Any doubts here? Any doubts here, ma? Now there is another way also, at the rate output, and this one. Along with this, there is one more thing called view child, which we will discuss in the next classes. View child and view children. There is a third way of taking child component to parent component, which is view child or view children. We will discuss it in the next class. I hope it's clear. If any doubts, please let me know, ma. Okay. And for some people who are not having the repository, and I'm just sharing it to you, GitHub repository one more time, ma. Okay, just let me go. Angular 730. Control C. Now I just shared the repository also. And in the repository also, you can check the notes or in the link right here. Cd dot git add dot git commit m update. Now git push u origin main. So automatically it will push, sir. Someone asked one question, sir. Please tell about workspace and application project and the component. Sir, here normally whenever you write it here, sir, see, let me explain to you. Every time why we wrote this commands is whenever you write, if you write it here one command like ng new, if I write it here ng new, and if I write some name,